And then the one video that I really wanted to talk about, you'd mentioned it already, was the filming your anxiety attacks for a week.
Yeah.
And you recently did a second one as well. So why did you decide to do that?
The second one or
The first one.
I was having, at the time, that was 1 year ago. At the time I filmed that, my best friend at the time, he lost his job and he got kicked out of his apartment and he had nowhere to go. And I offered up my place. And I was also struggling with YouTube a lot then. I was struggling with my job. I was struggling with, I recently went through a breakup at that time. There was a lot of stuff that I was dealing with, and I let him move in with me. And I live in a pretty big studio apartment, but I mean, it's still a studio, so it's only one room. And he was crashing on my couch, and then it was kind of just like everything kind of came together, and I felt like I felt like I was going to explode, and I've never felt them like that before. And for some reason, just grabbing my phone and filming something and verbally, just like that video I made 5 years ago of me saying that I'm just fucked up as everybody else, grabbing that camera and just saying something helped me out so much. Recording those was the best thing. Like my most recent one, like I got stood up. Literally, when I was walking home, I was like, I need to talk to somebody right now. I called all these people, no one answered. And so I just like pulled up my camera on my phone and I just recorded. And it was so helpful just to like kind of like just scream and let it out, right? And I think I don't know, a lot of people don't really understand anxiety attacks, but sometimes it's just your body screaming and you just gotta let it. So
yeah. So what was the reaction like when you put it out?
And I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna be negative. I knew right away when I made that video, when I had the title in mind. I had a few, but like I filmed my anxiety attacks for a week, and I've never made a title like that before. And that sounds so dumb to people who don't understand YouTube or aren't a YouTuber, but changing up your title and your thumbnail and the style of video you do is terrifying. And that was the first time I've ever done a video that's that long, that's that style, that's the cuts and everything like that, and that was the most vulnerable I've ever been. And I didn't care how many views it get. I didn't care that I think it's at 2.9 million right now, which is insane to me. It honestly gets me so scared because 2.9 people watched me like break down, which is terrifying. But what was the question?
Just what the reaction was like.
Oh yeah. It's still every single day somebody, I'd probably say like close to 100 people comment on that video every single day. Or I get a DM every single day about somebody saying that video helped them a lot. And that's really the only reaction. At first, the first people who watched the video didn't really understand it. It wasn't reaching the right people. In like the first like week or so, people were like, oh my God, I have anxiety. Like I watched this and I found I had it. And I'm like, no, honey, no, don't put that on me. And that's what I couldn't handle. I couldn't handle people being like self-diagnosing themselves off the video. And so I didn't look at the comments. Like my most recent one, I read them like 2 days ago, but like now I won't look at them for a while because I think the video is going to gain some traction, or hopefully, because I think more people should see that one. But yeah, I don't read the comments on those, just because like it's really, really hard reading everyone's story on it, because like as hard as it was to get mine out there, reading somebody else's and putting that on myself was like very difficult.
Oh, 100%.
It's some people write freaking novels too.
Oh yeah.
There's comments, like most of the comments on the video, you have to click like the read more tab to open it up, and then there's like 4 more paragraphs. You're like, oh my God. Yeah. So I just kind of skim through them. Like I read a lot of them, but a lot of them I have to stop myself.
Yeah, well, it'd be tough, right? Because especially like it's tough reading one person's story, but when you have like hundreds, thousands of people's stories, like it obviously becomes a lot.
Yeah, I think there's like 15,000 comments on that video, which is insane. I'm very grateful. Like I'm so thankful. That video changed everything for me, because I was very lost. Like I was making videos about relationships, and I love. Like I think that's like the reason why we breathe and why we're here and everything like that. Don't get me wrong. I love making videos about it, but especially when you go through a breakup and everything like that, like you don't really want to make videos about that. And I don't really want to make videos about like girls I like anymore and stuff like that, because like I've done it. And so I was really just losing myself. And then I made this video, and you know, when one door closes, another one really does open. And you don't even notice it half the time. I didn't know that this was going to do well. I wasn't going to upload it. Mm-hmm. And then I talked to like one of my managers at the time, and she was like, do it. And I was like, all right, did it. Yeah. I just needed somebody to just make me do it. And it was like, literally, she was just like, I think you should do it. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really opened up so many doors. And that's why I'm doing half the stuff I'm doing now. And that's why I have like the shows I have now. That's why I have the podcast. That's why I have everything. So, yeah.